understand the absolute truth. It's a very, very difficult lesson because our minds and our knowledge is so minimal, we are not able to actually grasp the meaning of these words. So my suggestion to all of y'all is just listen to it. Even if a very small percent of it enters you after repeated hearings, then it might make a difference in your life. This is Sankhya Yoga. It is not a child's play. It is a very tough lessons. So now, if you remember yesterday, we did a concept of a person, a human being. Now, he is not a human being, but he is a spirit soul. The spirit soul has taken up a body. He has manifested in a body. I hope you get that. It is like occupying a taxi, an Uber. Now, if you occupy a taxi, you are not thinking that the taxi is owned by you, but you only believe it is rented for a certain amount of time for you to travel from point A to point B. So you have to consider your body as a vehicle which you are going to take it from point A to point B. Point A being your birth, point B being death. So from birth to death, this is one body you have got. After you die, this body will be of no use because it is going to get converted back into the elements. So the way of understanding all this is never to give so much of preference to this body. Now human beings, for them what happens when they are born is they have to forget everything. That means they forget that they are the divine being. That is that essence of the Lord. They forget it. And they take up the body. And the moment they take up the body, they start possessing it. It is like the moment you sit inside an Uber, you say, this is my car. I am the owner of it. Actually, you aren't. And any other passengers that are there, now, you know, in India, we may not have this, but abroad where they have share a taxi or something like that, there may be other passengers. You believe that these passengers are related to you and you start taking ownership of them as well. They also start taking ownership of you. But end of the day, you have to realize that they are just passengers. Their body is also perishable. Your body is also perishable. You are not going to be permanent. You have just taken that cab only for point A to point B, which is a destination point. It is called destiny. You are going to go through a certain stages in life. This is where we had stopped, where a person forgets that he is divine. So now we are going to do from verse 7 of this new chapter, which is chapter 26, canto 3, part 2. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, canto 3, part 2. This is chapter 26 and verse 7. Material consciousness is the cause of one's conditional life, in which conditions are enforced upon the living entity by the material energy. Although the spirit soul does not do anything and is transcendental to such activities, he is thus affected by conditional life. It's a very beautiful statement where what is the meaning of the word conditional life? I want you to think about it. In India, a woman wears a garment called sari. Now she has seen her grandmother, mother, great grandmother, her friends, relatives all wearing a sari. And she also, when she grows up, starts wearing the sari. Now when that happens, her mind is conditioned to wear that sari. Can she think of any other dress? Can she think of a dress which is different than what she is seen? No. So she has got into a conditioned way of thinking. And for her, it is a part of life. Got the point? Similarly, if somebody is used to eating bacon and eggs early in the morning, and that person continues to eat that bacon and egg and all those things till the end of his life, where does the thought come in their mind that it is called killing of animals? Where does the thought come? It never comes. Because that is their food. And they are conditioned in that way of thinking. So why is it that it becomes, very much a subject of debate for other people? It is because they have a different conditioned life. These people have a conditioned life. And that is the reason why human beings cannot agree with each other. Everybody is conditioned with their own way of living. You will try to find fault with somebody else's lifestyle or somebody else's way of living. If their way of living is like that, why are you concerned with it? So, material consciousness is the cause of one's conditional life, in which conditions are enforced upon the living entity of the material energy. The material energy means the universe, the earth, everything. If you are conditioned to live in a certain way by the material energy around you, you will behave exactly in that manner. Now, for a human being who is actually a spirit soul, is conditioned by this body, the body, and whatever other things that come along with the body as a package deal. The package deal is the parents are there. Every body has a parent, isn't it? Every body has a parent. Everybody is born in a certain place. So they start believing that they are belonging to that place and the place belongs to them. If you are born in a place called India, and if you are born in a state called Karnataka, you will start believing that you are from Karnataka and you are an Indian, and then the language taught over here is Kannada, so you have to learn Kannada. Now just go 100 years back. There was no state of Karnataka. This was a kingdom, a tiny kingdom, ruled by some kings and queens and all those. They imposed their language, they imposed their customs on the place over here. And when they impose their customs and their language on it, they are free to do so, isn't it? What is the point of arguing? I will give you my own story. I was born in a state called Maharashtra. My father's language, I can say my father's mother tongue was Telugu. My mother's language was Marathi. Okay, these bodies. So for me, because I was with my mother all the while, so for me to understand Marathi became very easy. Nobody taught me Telugu. Now this is very funny, isn't it? So my father was basically a person whose family, his forefathers had migrated from this place, Maharashtra, to Andhra Pradesh. And they were also speaking in Marathi, which was very weird. Now here the funny part is, I cannot insist that I have to know Marathi. In my case, I should be knowing Telugu, isn't it? But my conditioning was I have to know Marathi. But my conditioning also said that if I know Marathi, I am not going to get a good job. If I wanted a good job abroad and some other place, I need to know English. See, look at the conditioning. So I went to an English school. My mother put me in an English school so that I can get educated in English. I thought that I should now think of something like going abroad and stuff like that. And that was a time when we used to have pen pals. You know, pen pals, we used to write, all those letters to pen pals. So I had a French pen pal. And she used to write to me in French. So for me, learning French was very important. So I took second language as Hindi and third language as French. For what reason? Conditioning. Did you get the point? Human beings get conditioned by the people around them. Like I got influenced by my mother, so I learnt Marathi. Got the point or no? You also are influenced by your own circumstances and surroundings. You forget that you are something else and you start accepting this unreal world. We are celebrating today in this eastern part of the world something which is called the Chinese New Year. Gong Sifa Chai. Happy New Year to you. It doesn't mean that actually. Gong Sifa Chai doesn't mean Happy New Year. It is talking about all the goodness and wealth and stuff like that. It has nothing to do with New Year. It is just a wish. Now if I were to go to China, I have to learn that language over there. I have to condition my life as per the Chinese philosophy. Chinese language, Chinese food. I am eating dal rice over here, there I may have to eat noodles and God knows what all things. Why? I get conditioned like that. But all this is fake, isn't it? Just because you are living somewhere, just because you are influenced by something, you have forgotten your main identity. So this is what happens to every human being. Human beings get conditioned by the circumstances around them, by Maya which is playing around their life, and they start believing in that nonsense. Although the spirit soul does not do anything, actually the spirit soul which is there inside of you is just not doing anything. It doesn't do anything. Sri Krishna, who is called the Supreme Divine Consciousness, doesn't do anything. He just watches. And if I say watches means you will think that he's got eyes. Got the point or no? No, there is no need of eyes. Just awareness. You know what is the difference between awareness? I am aware that there is a camera in front of me. I have to be aware of the camera. I need not be going right into the camera, correct? It is just awareness. So the Lord Himself is like that. The spirit soul within you, which is what we say as the divine consciousness, is actually not participating even in this kind of a nonsense. You understand? It is not getting conditioned by your nonsense. Whatever you may think of yourself as a human being, the spirit soul is not thinking as a human being. You may think of yourself as an Indian. The spirit soul is not thinking that it is Indian. It doesn't have an identity. Spirit soul can say, I am from the moon. I am from Mars. I am from outer space. I am from some other galaxy. Can say no. It is not even saying those words. It doesn't take responsibility of anything. So it doesn't do anything. It is transcendental to all activities. Do you do activities of different kind? Eating, drinking, sleeping, going around, doing your job. All these things are called activities. The spirit soul is not doing any activity. No. Yesterday, do you remember that example of one child eating the chocolate and one child holding the wrapper and the father is saying, you have eaten? You remember that story? Now I want you to think from this perspective. Can the child who has eaten the chocolate say, I have not eaten, or no? If he is a spiritual person, if he is an enlightened person, if he knows he is not the body, that word is true, because the spirit soul doesn't do anything. No. When your knowledge is perfect, the spirit soul is not in doing anything. But when your knowledge is imperfect, you start saying, I am doing it, I know, I am this, I am that. You get conditioned. Conditioned by your body, by the circumstances and the people and the space around you, you get conditioned by it. And you forget that you are the spirit soul. He is affected by conditional life. So you are affected by the conditional life that you are there having. Some of you think that you are mothers, some of you think you are grandmothers, some of you think you are fathers, some of you think you are not yet married, some of you think that you have children, some of you think that you have grandchildren. You can have whatever meaning that you want in life. You can say, I am the son, I am the daughter, I am this, I am that. All that is nonsensical and conditional. Can you understand this? If you consider yourself as the spirit soul, as the person who has taken the Uber, you are not taking ownership of anything. Spirituality is a subject which teaches you about this. The cause of the conditioned soul's material body and senses, and the senses presiding deity, the demigods, is the material nature. This is understood by learned men. The feeling of happiness and distress of the soul, who is transcendental by nature, are caused by the spirit soul himself. Think what is being said over here. The cause of the conditioned soul's material body and senses, and the senses presiding over as demigods, is the material nature. Everything around you which you can experience with your senses. What you see with your eyes, what you smell with your nose, what you taste with your tongue, what you hear with your ears, and what you touch and feel. All this, everything over here is just the material nature. Okay? And these senses that are there are giving you the understanding that it is like that. This is a very funny thing. If you are blind You won't even know whether there is a room or no room. Are you getting it? You won't even know the space. If you are totally blind, what are you going to understand in this world? You can't see a person whether they are beautiful or not. Do you know the color of a flower? No, you don't understand anything. So these senses are called demigods. Demigods. They are responsible for telling you certain things. So they say the rose is red in color. The sun is shining bright. You know those kind of words we say? Just because you have senses and it is conditioned by that. You know, dogs cannot see color. They see everything in black and white. And you are trying to give him colored food. How is he going to understand? He doesn't understand anything. Similarly, you, if you are deaf and if I keep on talking, do you think you will be able to hear anything? You can only see you will only see lip movement. Did you hear anything? The reason why you didn't hear is because I was not doing anything. I was not vocalizing it. I was just moving my lips. That deaf person only can see the lip moving. They know that this person may be talking to me, but then nothing is entering their brains. So are you conditioned by your ears or no? Now, another conditioning happens in the mind. I am saying some words. The deaf person is not able to hear them. The deaf person assumes, because looking at my eyes and the way I am gesticulating, he believes that I am talking in some very, very aggressive manner. And he believes that because of this aggression, I am saying something bad to him. Who is making this distinction? Another God in his body, that is called the mind. The mind is giving all kinds of wrong signals. A person who is an enlightened person, you see, is given over here, is not involved in any of these things. Are you getting it? If somebody says something bad to that person, his ears are not listening. If he sees somebody naked also, he won't look at that person, or he may look at that person, but there is nothing happening inside. Are you getting it or no? If somebody is, smelling very badly, you may wrinkle your nose and say, oh, this fellow has not taken a bath. But the person who has no sense of smell, what does he do? It doesn't disturb him at all. If you remember that example just now I gave you of a person who is deaf, his mind was talking. An enlightened person's mind doesn't even talk. It doesn't even involve itself in anything. The feeling of happiness and distress of the soul, which is transcendental by nature, are caused by the spirit soul himself. You are feeling it. You are feeling these feelings because the spirit soul is telling you, look, here is Maya. So with your eyes, which are called the demigods, you are seeing Maya in action. And you get drawn towards Maya. I want you to think about this. You know, just a few days back, there was a cricket match between India and Pakistan. The commentators were talking. And one of the commentators was very sarcastic. He said there is an Indian player. This Indian player, he wears at least 4 watches, new watches, during his cricket match. So when he goes out as a fielder, he is wearing a watch which is 3 crores. You know, 3 crores is millions, okay, millions of dollars. Then when he goes half time, he is coming out with another watch which is some 2-3 crores. And when he is going out in the cricket field to play the match, he is wearing 8 crores or 10 crores of watch. So the commentator was saying, you see these Pakistanis, they come to India to earn money by playing with, you know, the ICC, the board that is there. Our players are wearing watches which can cover their entire expenses. Are you getting the point? It is a sarcastic statement being made. What are they trying to prove? Are you getting the point? We want to always prove that we are rich. We always want to prove that we are very good looking. We always want to prove that we are best. It is called desires of yours, sir. And it is called happiness and distress. The person who is wearing that watch, you think he is happy. And the person who is not wearing the watch and who is come to play in this country is in distress. Is that what you think or no? Correct? The citizens of a country think that they are happy. I want you to think. The refugees are thinking, oh, the citizens are happy. Okay? And the citizens are thinking, why am I a citizen of this country? I should have gone to Dubai. Maybe I will get more money over there. All these influencers and all, they are shifting to places like Dubai. For what reason? They think there is happiness over there. You are a third class citizen over there, sir. Third class person over there. Nobody cares for you. You can be thrown out like this. In your country, you will be doing cannabis and all those other drugs, you know. Try doing it in all these countries. Dubai, Singapore and all. No, you can't do that. Yesterday I heard a person, he was talking about Singapore being such an ideal country. Here everybody lives in a house. They own the houses. I am sorry boss, nobody owns the house over there. It's a government land leased to you. Leased. Only few properties are given as. But you think tomorrow the government cannot tell you, okay, you have to give back that land? Can they say that or no? So there is nothing yours in this world. You know, very funny part. We are approaching the Armageddon. Do you know this? No? Let me tell you something. A time when the oceans are going to rise above the level of even the 100-story building. The oceans are going to rise above. You may be a billionaire, sir. You really believe that you are going to be alive? You think so? We are coming to the end of time very soon. All your billions of dollars can't save you. Nothing in this world can save you. So what happiness are you talking about? Yesterday we were discussing about one billionaire in India. This person has even his private zoo. Okay, he owns a big zoo. He has got pots of money. He has made a building which is worth billions of dollars. You know, the Queen of Jordan has visited them yesterday. And she was welcomed with such a fanfare, God alone knows. When we were discussing, the other person is feeling very small. They have so much money. They are so much rich. They can go around in hundreds of vehicles. They have got servants. They have got this, they have got that. They're so happy, no? Money gives you happiness? I never knew that. Jesus Christ was the happiest person on earth. Even on the cross. Buddha was the happiest. Do you remember during the time of Buddha who was a billionaire? Nobody remembers. During the time of Krishna, who was a billionaire? Nobody remembers. During the time of Sri Ram, who was a billionaire? Nobody remembers. Are you getting the point? Idiots get lost in their happiness and sorrow every day. Why are we not having this money? He is having a beautiful wife. My wife is very ugly. Why am I not having a beautiful wife? Really? You don't know what that person is going through, sir. The married person really believes, I should not have got married. I am unhappy. And there is a unmarried person, he is thinking, look at that married person, he is so happy with his wife. Every time when they go on holiday, they click pictures and they post it on Instagram. What are you talking about, sir? They are faking it. But the belief is, they are putting pictures on Instagram, they must be very happy. So this unmarried person thinks that I should get married. Then I will become happy. The married person thinks, why the hell did I get married? I am very unhappy. He says, I could have divorced my wife long ago. Now we have children. How do I divorce her? You got the whole point of it? This life is all like this. It is dependent on your conditioning. You can be in a jail, sitting in one small cell. I'm telling you this. You get food to eat. You don't get to go out. It is 10 by 10 or less than that. There is a commode over there. There is a wash basin over there. That is it. There is a bare bunk over there. You have to maybe sleep on it. That's it. You are not allowed to go out. And you are serving 20 years prison sentence. You may be the happiest person over there. But you may always keep on thinking, I am in jail, I don't know what to do. Now look at the person outside the jail. Okay, 20 years he has spent of his life. Okay, this man. He's got married, he's got children. He's paying his EMI every month. He has bought a car for which he has to pay every month. Got the point? He has bought a house for which he has to pay every month. He is supposed to keep on working outside all the time so that he can bring home money. His wife and children can be taken care of. He may have sick parents, he may have to take care of them. He has to pay fees, this, that. 20 years go by. The children are grown up. They have gone away. This man has been sweating for 20 years without any stopping. Now look at the man in the jail. He spent 20 years in the jail. What is he doing? Does he have a wife to bother him? Does he have to go out and work? Does he have EMIs? Does he have anything to bother his head about? Which life would you prefer? Ask yourself this question. Both lives are conditioned. Can you understand this? That is conditioned by the four walls in a jail. And the outside is conditioned by your relatives, friends, wife, children, family, this, that, and the whole world outside. That is their jail. And both of them are miserable. You look at the story of Epstein and all those people. What happened? He was the greatest influencer. So many people knew him and he knew so many people. The King of England to the queens of countries and this one and that one and film stars and God knows presidents and prime ministers. Everybody knew him. What is his life all about? Nothing. I hope you get this point. This is something which you need to understand. I'm going slow because you have to understand there is no happiness or misery for a spiritually enriched person. Because his senses are not going out anywhere. He doesn't have any desires of any kind. He can sit in one place without getting disturbed. If somebody enters his space, he is going to get very upset because he is disturbed. Are you getting the point? He should not be disturbed even in that case. So here the answer is, the spirit soul is actually not transacting anything. It is devoid of all transactions. And yet the man believes that these transactions are all happening because of this God within them. Are you getting the point? We will do the opening of the next verse. That is verse 9. Devahuti said, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna kindly explained the characteristics of a Supreme Person and his energies, for both of these are the cause of the manifest and the unmanifest creations. She shifted topic now. She says, I understand that divine consciousness is on all people, everybody, everything. But who is this Supreme Person? Who is this God that we are talking about? She is asking God only this question, by the way. Does she even know that she is asking? The Lord herself had come to her, remember? And told her that I will be born as your son. Huh? And yet she is asking the Lord, who is this Lord? Can you please tell me? Explain the characteristics of these Sri Krishna. What are the characteristics of Sri Krishna? And what are his powers? What powers does he have? Common sense will tell you, if he is the Supreme Lord and the master of this whole creation, the universe itself, then where is the question of even asking this question? He is the super boss, okay? What are his characteristics? Everything are his characteristics because he is distributed everywhere, isn't it? But he has to give the answer. Isn't it because of him that this manifest and the unmanifest world has happened? So somebody asked me this question, why does God do these kind of things? Why does he create the manifest world? You and I are manifest world, isn't it? Everything around us is manifest. And why is he unmanifest also? For what reason? What are the characteristics? Why should we bother so much? So this is a very, very important question for her to ask. So we will hear what Kapila Muni is saying. Kapila Muni says, the Supreme Personality says, that is Sri Krishna, as Kapila Muni says, the unmanifested eternal combinations of the three modes is the cause of the manifest state and is called Pradhana. It is called Prakriti when the manifested state of existence. I have explained this before, but I am going to explain to you once again. The existing thing, that which is there but I cannot decipher it. Human beings cannot understand, cannot decipher, cannot make head nor tail of it. Okay? That which nobody can describe is called the unmanifest state. So the Lord Krishna, as the ultimate entity, he created this being, this state. It's actually not a being as such, a state of existence before anything happened. Before anything happened, you remember, if I want to have a cricket match or a football match, do I need a field, a playing field somewhere? I have to put a location to it, isn't it? It should happen somewhere, isn't it? So before I start bringing the players, the football and everything, I need to know what I am doing and where I am doing. So that just the thought itself that I need to do something is called pradhana. Creating the framework. So suppose you want to, like you are thinking, I want to have a family. You are a young person of 25 years. Maybe you are a boy or a girl, young man or a woman. The thought has come or no? There is some basis, somewhere the thought is there. So when the thought comes, I want to have a family, what does it entail? It entails getting married, having children, having a house, having relatives, family, this, that. And to subsist, you need a job, you need money. You need good health, you need happiness in your life. All these things are so-called requirements of yours, isn't it? So before you even think of having a family, you got to start making the preparation. Start making the preparation. The preparation is what? The Lord says, I first got to create this pradhana, which is the unmanifested eternal combinations of the three modes of material nature. So before I do this, I need to have a basis or a foundation of something. So there is going to be three modes of nature. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. The good, the bad and the ugly. You can say that. So there is the good, Sattva. There is the activity, Rajas, and there is the ugly, which is called Tamas. Tamas is not actually ugly. Tamas is inertia, laziness, all the bad stuff in the world. When I have good stuff, I need bad stuff also or no? When I have a rich person, I need a poor person also or no? If everybody becomes rich, how is this world going to function? I hope you get the point. Who is going to do the job now? Everybody is a billionaire. Who is going to do the job? The poor people. But if the poor are not there, then who is going to do the job? So those who think that there is a utopian society are the stupidest people on earth, because if everybody is happy, then there is going to be nothing in this world. So there are going to be happiness and there is going to be sadness also. If there is God, there is devil also. If there is good, there is bad also. I hope you got the point. So first he has to create this framework. And this is called the unmanifest. And this is called the pradhana. It is just a framework. And now I got to put ingredients in it, isn't it? Something has to be put in that. A playing field, the goal post, the players, the football, and then I got to have competition. All these things we need to put in place, no? So all that is going to be there. So that is called Prakriti, Mother Nature, the nature of everything. So in this pradhana, I need to have Prakriti. The aggregate elements, namely the 5 gross elements, the 5 subtle elements, the 4 internal senses, the 5 senses of gathering knowledge, and the 5 outward organs of action are known as the pradhana. So before I create anything, these things need to be in their places. See, the aggregate elements. What are the elements? Now, fire, water, those kind of things. They are the gross elements. The 5 subtle elements are there. Subtle elements means what fire causes, what things happen, how they happen. These are subtle. The 4 internal senses. What are the internal senses? That which tells you something, which is called knowledge giving. Vision. I see. The 5 senses of gathering knowledge. Eye. 5 outward organs of action. Organs of action, you know, no? Hands, legs. And these are called pradhanas. We'll do verse 12 now. We'll try to see how much we can do, because this is slightly a duller subject for you all. There are 5 gross elements, namely earth, water, fire, air and ether. I just now told you. There are 5 subtle elements like smell, taste, color, touch and sound. This also you know. The sense of acquiring knowledge and the organs of action are namely 10. That is the auditory, the sense of taste, the tactile senses, the sense of smell, and the active organ of speaking, tongue, active organs of working, legs, hands, those for traveling, generating and evacuating, the genitalia, the evacuation organ and all those things. Okay. The internal subtle senses are experienced in having 4 aspects in the shape of mind, internal organs which you can't see. Nobody knows where they are, by the way, but they are internal. Somewhere in the body they are. What are they? That little brain that you have, you know, not the brain, not this brain. Knowledge it's called, no? Somewhere. It's in the shape of mind. You have a mind. Do you know where the mind is? Don't point it to your head. Mind is not in the head. It's not in the brain also. See, understand, the Western influence is telling us that mind is in the brain. No. Mind is a distributed organ which cannot be understood. It is subtle. It's called mind space. Okay. So it is there. Intelligence is there. Little bit of brain, like you have, knowledge. Ego is there. I know, I. And contaminated consciousness, the divine consciousness which is contaminated by the means of what is going on in the world. You are confined in the body, isn't it? You are contained. Did I miss out one? Yes. Verse 13. Okay, we'll just finish this. Made up of different functions that they represent different characteristics. Okay. The sense of acquiring knowledge and the organs of action are number 10. That is verse 13 we are doing. Namely auditory senses, the sense of taste. We did this, I think. Traveling journal. Yeah. Their different distinction between them can be only by different functions since they represent different characteristics. Okay. So all these actions which are done. So we are talking about the subtle senses, mind, intelligence, ego and contaminated consciousness. Distinctions between them can be made only by different functions since they represent different characteristics. Okay, here a small understanding of this subject. For 1 minute I will give you. Mind is not the same as intellect. No. So don't mix up the mind and intellect together. Mind is separate, intellect is separate. Intellect is only knowledge, only understanding. It's a subject, it's like a library of knowledge and information. It is doled out when it is necessary. Suppose you may say, no, I want to know about this. You will come to know about this because it's in your memory also. Then there is ego. I know, I am like this, I am like that. Yeah. So all these are separate and they are separated very, very thinly. Very thinly they are separated. The mind needs the intelligence also. Without the intelligence, the mind can't work. The intelligence on its own cannot work without the mind also. So either they are supportive of each other. Got it? And the ego is also there because, for what reason? Without the ego, you will have no mind or intelligence. Have you seen the autistic or these children who are having disabilities and all that? You know, mental problems. What do? They cannot decipher anything. They don't know how to eat, they don't know how to sit, they don't know how to do anything. Because nothing is working. The influence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is felt in time factor, which causes fear of death due to the false ego of the deluded soul who has contacted material nature. All this, when it is put together in the pradhana. Now actions which are going to happen will be in the form of prakriti. Prakriti creates this kind of actions and it is inducing you to do something. Do this, use this brain, use this mind, like that. Isn't Maya working over there? Yeah. So now think on those lines. Here what is happening? Naturally, because you are going to take birth, what is the fear now? The fear is of death, isn't it? The moment a child is born, you know how terrified the parents are? Have you ever noticed the parents outside the maternity room? They are very terrified. For what reason? They think that either the wife will die, the child will die, one of them will die, something is going to happen. They are so worried. Right? So the fear of death is the biggest fear of all. So here it is mentioned, the influence of this Lord is felt by the time factor. When are you going to die? Do you even know? Yesterday only we did that, no? When are you going to die? Does anybody know that? No. Are you afraid? Yeah. I mean, just imagine. If you die today, what happens? I want you to think. Death is the final point in your life, isn't it? So when death comes, which causes fear of death due to false ego, thinking that I am the body, you are going to die. And the deluded soul who has contacted material nature. It is because you think you are born in this body, you are afraid of death. How many people are afraid of death? Got the point? Think about the person who lives every day and knowing that he is going to die today. How does he live? You know, in the last many years, it has been nearly 13 years now. 13 years. I have had some very good people with me. And I told these people that you need to do something about it. It is the Guru's job to tell these people, go do these things. I hope you are getting the point. We can do a training school, we can have a Gurukul, we can have this, we can have that. I've said these words. Not a single person has worked towards it. Not a single person. You know the reason why they are still wondering that when they are going to start? Because they don't have fear of death. But you know, death is going to strike them any moment in time. Any moment death can come. Then what is going to happen? Nothing is going to remain. Isn't it? They think that they can do it tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and the day after, and maybe next year, maybe next year. The way in which these people are moving at such a slow pace, they do not have fear of death. But death is terminal, please remember this. And death can be the cause of the biggest misery of all. So kindly don't dilly-dally and delay what you got to do today. You know, if you have to do something today, you do it. The fear of death, be very careful about it. Because only the Lord is the master of time. What does he say? The influence of Lord is felt in the time factor. Only God has time in hand. You don't have. If you have to do something, do it right now. Please do it right now. You know, the funny part about thing is, this life is, you don't know time travel. Do you know time travel? No. The Lord can travel in whichever time frame that he wants to. The whole thing can be rewritten all over the place. Sometimes I will explain to you how this is rewritten. I can't explain to you just now. The idea is, you have come here to do some work. Do it. Do it. Don't keep on giving reasons for not doing. I hope you get this point. That only the Lord has got control over time. You are going to be caught up in this time because of your false ego and the deluded soul that you are. So be very careful. I am not going to explain just now, but hopefully tomorrow when we do the next verses, we will understand a little bit more. So we will stop over here for today.